healthy living with Intermountain Healthcare.
Especially here in Utah, we are very concerned about the air that we breathe. And Dr. Denitza Blagev from Intermountain Healthcare is here to talk about an important study that may stun some folks at home. Tell us a little bit about it.
So this was a great study including people from a lot of different cities, none of the cities in Utah, but it does have importance about us. And the new thing that it showed is that with the increased ozone levels and breathing in the ozone, we really see progression of emphysema. And so some people have said, you know, this is the equivalent of smoking a pack a day for 29 years. So even if you've never smoked and you're breathing in the air pollution, you can develop emphysema, and emphysema can progress.
So researchers looked at 7,000 adults for over a decade in cities like Baltimore, Chicago, LA, New York. What's our air in comparison to those cities?
So this is a great study because they looked not only at ozone levels, which is one of the things we're really concerned about, but also fine particulates, so those PM 2.5s we talk a lot about during the winter, and then nitrogen oxide species.
What's the worst for you, the ozone or the particulates?
I would say both. I mean,
both.
they're both terrible. In this study, ozone was really the one that had the strongest link with developing emphysema and emphysema progression. And then the other interesting thing is that the fine particulates and the other air pollution was going down over the period of the study, but ozone is going up.
And unique to Utah is the inversions that we deal with in the winter as well. So that's something we have to consider.
That's right. So, and that's a particulate, the fine particulate air pollution is when we think about those inversions. We, all over the west and the southwest, we have the ozone problem. It has a lot to do with heat and light, and that's really a summertime problem as well. And so we really are concerned about both.
Doctor, did these findings surprise you at all?
On the one hand, it's not surprising to find out that air pollution does indeed cause progression of emphysema, but this is kind of the first study to show that ozone specifically has such a strong association with that. We often think about particulates, but ozone is really an important pollutant as well.
And I know, Dr. Blagev, you say especially people who are at high risk, people who have COPD, who have asthma, they really have to watch out for those days when we have high ozone and high inversion. Your thoughts about that, especially with this study?
So one of the things is that even if you've never smoked, if you are exposed to air pollution, including ozone, really your risk of developing emphysema and COPD is quite significant. So that's something to keep in mind. I think sometimes we think, well, I'm healthy, I don't have any problems, it doesn't matter for me, I'm going to go jog when it's, you know, a bad air day or when the ozone levels are really high. And this study is yet another kind of line of evidence showing that air pollution is bad for all of us.
Well, and that would be my next question is what should our viewers do with this information? Now that we know and living here, we're going to deal with the air, what's the best way to handle the news?
So I think one of the things is really we all need to be paying attention to air quality. So there's kind of the utahair.gov, and you guys report the air quality. So look at it, and it can be wildfires and inversions that have the PM 2.5s, or it might be ozone. And if it's a really kind of those red air days, you gotta stay inside, adjust your workout schedule, adjust your hiking schedule, adjust the children's sports schedule, and really
there is something that we all can do too. Obviously, we can reduce idling, all of those things that every individual can do, but also at home, you also push the filters that we can clear our air when those bad days are happening inside your home.
That's right, and that's really for the particulate air pollution. The ozone is a gas, and so the filters aren't really effective for that. But for those inversion days, and if we have the wildfires and the smoke coming through, then you want to make sure that your air in the house is running through that filter, and you're changing the filter so that it's trapping those particulates and they're not ending up in your lungs.
And you suggest the HEPA filters, right?
So for some people that are really sensitive, they can add those standalone, really fine particulate filters to trap. You know, I have a lot of patients with asthma and COPD that feel like it makes a huge difference for them. And so I think that's something reasonable to consider.
Well, it's such good information to be aware of. Doctor, if you would like, and everyone out there, if you'd like more information on this study or you have any questions, intermountainhealthcare.org. It's all right there, and you can go to our website and we'll link you, abc4.com.